What's up, Britt?
Hey, what's up, man?
Nothing much. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well, man. Thank you for, taking the time out to do this. I appreciate it.
Nah, for sure. Where you at nowadays, bro?
Man, I'm in Alexandria, man. I'm in
For
Alexandria.
real?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
liking it out there?
I do. I do. I like it a lot. I just been working and training. So
Yeah, yeah. You still hooping and stuff?
yeah. I'm getting ready to go back. I'm
Oh,
just,
for real?
yeah,
Dang,
yeah.
that's tough. That's tough. Where you about to head to?
Dominican Republic.
All right. So you okay? So you about to be chilling, bro? You about to be
Nah.
chilling. You about to be chilling.
Man, I'm actually excited. It's my first time going there, so
You should
yeah,
like it, then, bro. That's man. Good for you. That's good that you still playing and do what you want to do. Oh, stop.
yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
for sure, for sure.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and introduce the show,
All right.
and then we're just gonna hop right into it.
All right, go.
All right, I'm Taylor Brown, and this is how I did it. The show where we talk with champions about how they achieve their dreams. On today's show, we're talking with Brittani Burgess, former D1 athlete, played at VCU, UMBC, creator and founder of Bayes Interactions, and The Life After, the student athlete edition. So, Britt, thank you so much for coming on the show again. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, for sure. Nice what you're doing.
Yeah, appreciate that. So, first thing I want to ask you, I saw you drop Life After Student Athlete Edition in 2020.
Yeah,
To be exact, I saw it was on October 7th, and you dropped the first trailer, and it was super dope. And what I liked about it is your openness about your story. You
yeah,
said, unfortunately, it took me, being hospitalized to realize I needed help. So I
yeah.
appreciate that openness. I know that took a lot to really put that out there. Can you
Um,
just talk to me about your life afterwards, and what kind of pushed you to do this project?
yeah. This project was actually something that I've been thinking about since like my freshman year of playing basketball at the collegiate level.
Mm,
Um, unfortunately, I wasn't in the right situations, wasn't at the right programs or whatnot. That was a right fit for me.
mm,
And, I always felt little bit off, but of course I'm not saying anything or
yeah,
telling people like how I feel or whatnot. And then just seeing like what my teammates went through, especially my VCU teammates. I hearing them cry every night in their rooms, but they come out their rooms and they look completely fine, and I felt like
yeah,
that was all of us, playing at that level really at times. But that's really what inspired me to do it. Just my teammates, myself, and then just hearing others former student athlete stories after college or whatnot. So that was the inspiration really.
yeah. Oh, definitely. That's super, super dope. So, one thing, we both know people look at us as athletes as, super strong gladiators, pretty much, have no emotion, and can get through anything. But
Yeah.
why do you think that is? Like, why do you think depression with athletes is underestimated? It's pretty much ignored in a way. Um, and it takes for a player to hit rock bottom, like for
Yeah.
example, Delonte West.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, okay, now we need to help them out, get them help. What
Yeah.
are your thoughts about that?
Um, Honestly, I think it's because of like other people, the outsiders who look at us, they look at us as a source of entertainment, really, So if we're doing bad or having a bad day, having a bad game, they don't really understand why. They just think that, we're BSing or it's something else, but they don't understand that we're humans and we go through the same emotions and have the same problems that they might have or even worse really. So I think really it's the outsiders that really kind of push that narrative that we don't that we aren't humans, that everything's just about basketball or just about your sport. And what is there to complain about? A lot of, I remember in college, a lot of regular students thought like we were like spoiled or whatnot. They thought that
Mm,
our life was good. We get gear and whatnot. Some reason they always went towards gear to the reason why we should be happy and that we're on scholarships, but they don't understand that we work for that every day.
mm,
Uh, it's a dictatorship at some places. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't really know yourself. Whatever they tell you to do, you want to do. So I think that's the biggest thing, honestly, that needs to change. And then the coaches. There's some coaches who understand the athlete, understand their background and whatnot. But then there's coaches that keep preaching that narrative of family, but they wouldn't treat their kids the way they treat their athletes.
Mm,
And so I think that right there, that family narrative messes it up as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%, 100%. So, leading to my next question, just being a former D1 athlete, playing for different schools as well for myself, what
Yeah.
was the biggest challenge for you?
Biggest challenge. I mean, just being sold on these coaches' words, man. I think that's the biggest thing. I should have studied my coach, you know, and I think we get caught up in the names and the hype of places instead of actually studying the coach. And when you go on these visits, you should be asking the people who aren't playing as much, about the real side of things.
Mm,
So I think we were young. I mean, I think it's different now. A lot of these athletes are now like speaking up. Back then, we was just all right. Whatever you say, we're going to do really. So
yeah.
it was a different time. Even though the time ranges aren't that big of a gap, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
it still is. But I think us transferring everything. I mean, we should just study our coaches, the whole everything, because I mean, at the end of the day, the school is the school. You're going to get your education. You're going to get that college life. You know what I'm saying? So you shouldn't really have to worry about that too much. The
Right.
biggest thing is understanding the coach and their words, really. And now there's some trigger words that if a
Mm,
kid comes to me and they say this coach said this and that, and I'll be like, man, you gotta, run away from that maybe because
yeah.
they selling you the same story. So and then with transferring, you starting over really, and it's like a new beginning and
Hmm.
whatnot.
Hmm.
But I mean, sometimes it's not in the athlete's hands of like how their career is going to go. And some people might disagree with that, but the athlete doesn't determine where they're going to be on the court. How many times they get the ball, what position they're going to be in, really. So I think like studying the coach is like the biggest regret that I definitely have when it comes down to transferring and picking my schools and whatnot.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So I see you're coaching as well. Are you still
Yeah.
coaching? Yeah.
Uh right now since COVID's going on, I'm not coaching. We're not doing too much. We're only doing like something every Saturday or whatnot. But yeah, right now coaching, I mean, it's been a blessing. The biggest lessons I learned from college was what not to do. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And so I think I'm definitely able to connect with my players. But I tell them off that I'm not a family member. So don't look at me like a family member. Look at me like a mentor figure to you.
Mm,
And I make sure there's always that boundary. Of course, I'm still cool with them. Ask how they are, whatever. But I also push that business narrative to them.
hmm.
And even with the head coach, I try to change his mentality, which is, has changed, like get rid of that narrative because you're not going to treat your daughter the way you treat, the player that you put in the game or whatever. So he has, and right now we've seen a huge difference in our girls from like, establishing that business aspect of the game for real.
Mm.
But I mean, it's been a blessing, man. I mean, I love it. At coaching at the collegiate level is probably not something I want to do
Okay.
for forever, just because I don't think the NCAA lets us connect to these players the way we should connect.
Okay.
But right now it's just funny now seeing like the other side of things. So
Yeah.
being being a coach, a young coach, I'm
Yeah.
25. I definitely am able to like build relationships and understand the girls in a way that maybe my 50-year-old coach might not be able to. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely been a blessing, man, for sure.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, do you have these conversations with your players like
Mhm.
about your experience or just, depression, suicide stuff that you kind of been documenting through
Oh,
film?
oh yeah, definitely. They ask me so many questions now, especially after since that like dropped or whatever. They ask me a lot of questions. So we talk about the mental side of things and just how you gotta take care of yourself. Like basketball is here or whatever, but it shouldn't be necessarily always your getaway. Sometimes it is for people, but I mean, for my players, sometimes it stresses you out a little bit. But
Yeah.
basketball should be that fun getaway sometimes, but you also got to figure out, who are you outside of basketball? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
I definitely had these conversations with my players and whatnot, just, preaching to them, take care of yourself. Like if you need a day or you're not having a good day, just let me know. It's not that hard, to communicate,
Yeah.
and that relationship is established beforehand, to the point they are comfortable with talking to me about certain things or how they feel, what their family is going through or whatnot, So we just try to treat our girls as humans really, and
Yeah.
understanding that, the mental part, I mean, you can get through it. I try to make sure they not soft. I
Mm.
try to make sure they know the difference between like mental toughness and then, mentally sick. So,
Mm.
we definitely preach to them, go to uh, the counseling services the school has or whatnot. And we've seen a change in a year. So, I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, I think it's something that, all schools should definitely, push on their kids. But I understand there's an older generation that
Yeah.
still doesn't necessarily believe in it or whatnot.
Yeah. Did you personally or teammates, do you feel comfortable sharing? Did you guys go to mental counseling yourself when you were in college, or is that something like you kind of avoided?
Uh, we didn't even know about it really. We didn't know necessarily what mental illness was. We knew about the mental toughness of it, mental, that training, getting into the alpha zone, all of that stuff. Like we knew about that, but we didn't know about uh the the mental illness part of everything,
Mm, yeah.
and then I had a situation where, a coach, I'm like 18, 19, and I'm missing, academic meetings. I'm not putting it in my calendar or whatnot, but
Yeah.
she took that as something was wrong with me. So that's the one time I did see a counselor, or I forgot what he was. It's some type of doctor, and he diagnosed me being ADD because of me missing meetings or whatnot.
Mm,
And so at that point, I'm mentally like, yo, I'm stupid. Like I can't do this, I can't do that because
mm,
I'm diagnosed with ADD. So that kind of messed me up a little bit. So that was the only situation where I was in a space where I'm talking to somebody thinking they're gonna help me, but in reality, they're just trying to validate something my coach said about me, and just
mm,
gave her a reason to say that no, you can't do this, you can't do that on the court, you can't play multiple positions because you won't remember. So
mm.
him coming in there was just a reason to validate her not giving me a chance and stuff like that, which is ridiculous to me now thinking about it. Like you just got somebody that you don't even know diagnosed with ADD and feeling like they can't do nothing. So that was the biggest situation that happened with me.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's good to know. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. And what was your favorite episode from your series so
Oh
far?
man, and they all my favorite. They because they're
Yeah.
just all different. Everybody had a different story, but um, man, I mean, Shekinah's was definitely the one that I can relate to the most.
Okay.
Especially us coming from the same program. But I mean, Shekinah's was raw.
Mm,
She was very open about it. I had a lot of her older teammates come to me saying like, "Thank you for honoring, the young lady that did commit suicide, after she was done playing and whatnot." But
mm,
Shekinah's that just kind of hit everybody, really. I felt like everybody, no matter your race, gender, anything like that, everybody could relate to it. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. For the people who didn't see her episode, could you just explain her story a little bit?
oh yeah. So, Shekinah, she played at VCU. Uh, she had a few injuries. Coaches thought she was faking it. Um, Father died. And so mentally, she's just in a bad place. She had a teammate who was also in a bad place, but instead of the coaches helping the teammate, they kicked her off the team. And
Mm,
then a few years later, all of that still built up within her. She never got help. She didn't know what was wrong with her, and she wound up committing suicide.
Mm.
And a lot of her teammates felt a lot of guilt. Shekinah felt a lot of guilt for it because it's like all she needed was somebody to talk to, somebody to be on her side, really, and she never had that. And the effects of the life after college is something that it's being talked about a lot now, especially since COVID happened. People are
Yeah.
now like sitting down, just thinking about things that happen within their life or whatever. So now, like what you're doing right now is great. The conversation is still going. So yeah, definitely
Yeah.
Shekinah's. Kia's was a good one too, because I couldn't really relate with that being a Black female basketball player, but her being a
Yeah.
biracial uh lacrosse player, that's a whole different world over there, I guess, with the
Yeah.
racism and everything. But Kyle's is coming next. He talks about Black men within mental health and depression and everything. So that should be a good one too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, what was your biggest lesson from the pandemic?
Oh man, biggest lesson.
Yeah.
I think you know, not doubting yourself and taking those risks. And I felt like a lot of people, this pandemic definitely pushed them to, live life to the fullest they can, and show, people their abilities really. And,
Mhm.
first I was going under a different name. I was putting stuff out and people didn't even know it was me. Really,
Yeah.
I'm winning these awards and whatnot. People don't even know. And then, this pandemic just finally, let me be myself really,
Mm.
and it got me out of that mindset that I'm all about basketball. And, I can't even watch basketball anymore really because how, with everything I really went through, it's hard to even watch that jump. But
Yeah.
yeah, biggest lesson from 2020 was just like live your life and just keep putting stuff out, man. Put your content out. Like
Mm.
we just started following each other, but I seen all the content you push out. I'm like, yeah, like keep going. Like it's not all about likes. It's not all about views, really.
Yeah.
Because the right people are going to see it, and that's when your opportunity is going to come. So
Yep.
I stopped doing things for likes, man. And, it's to stop doing things for clout and just start doing things for myself and for the people that do like it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the biggest thing, man.
No, I
Yeah,
I like that. That's real. I
yeah,
appreciate that too.
yeah, for sure, man, for sure. I would definitely peep. Yeah, I respect it. I
Yeah.
respect it.
So, was there a moment, like a teammate or a story, where you just felt like, okay, I gotta start documenting this, gotta start filming, interviewing people. Like, what hit? Did you have any hesitation? Were you scared? You know?
Man, yeah. So like I said, I've been thinking about, drawing out ideas since my freshman year. First, it was going to be a book, then it was going to be a podcast, then it got changed into, the show, really, me putting my money into it.
Mm.
But I mean, my teammates, man, I hate to bring race into it, but we shouldn't have been playing for a white woman who felt like she understood where we came from. Like that's
Mm.
point blank period. Like that should have been a
Ooh.
red flag. That should have been a red flag right there for all of us,
Yeah.
and the fact that we even some of us who transfer like myself, we kept for some reason playing under a white woman, and thinking that we're going to get the different results. When back
Mm.
when I was younger, I prospered when I had a Black male coach. Like I should have
Yeah.
peeped how that, what I'm saying, that's the door I
Yeah.
should have kept, going to. But I mean, my teammates, they had, siblings who were shot and killed, um, parents who were shot and killed, parents who were in jail. We're using our money that we're getting to, pay bills for
Mm.
our people. We're sending money back home. So it's not like we just stacking that bread and, giving it to ourselves. Like we're sending it back home. So that's like what really got me going because we're 18 taking care of our families, what I'm saying, with the
Wow.
money that we are getting. So I mean, just man, all of my VCU teammates, like they're definitely like the strongest people I know still to this day taking care of their parents or their whoever, So yeah, all of them definitely, inspired me
Yeah.
throughout all of this for sure.
Wow,
Yeah,
man. No, that's super dope. That is super
yeah,
dope. That's
for
real.
sure. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
All
That's for
right.
sure.
So we're down to our last 3 questions. I asked
All
every
right,
interview these questions.
all right.
So first question, what inspires you?
What inspired me? Inspired me to do life after, or like
Just in general.
just
Yeah.
in general. I would have to say Banksy. Banksy is I don't know if you know Banksy, but
Uh-uh.
he's an artist who he's nobody knows his true identity, but like all around the world he has these morals. I mean these murals everywhere that like has something to do with social justice or whatnot. But nobody knows who this dude is. Nobody's ever seen his face or anything like that.
Mm.
So he was definitely like an inspiration, and he's not afraid to to push that narrative of what's right in this world. You know what I'm saying? Even though he not, I don't think he's hiding. He's done interviews or whatever covering his face, but that's the biggest inspiration. And then just my grandparents, really, and my parents.
Yeah.
They're always a big inspiration for me.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So second question, what is your pet peeve?
Oh, pet peeve, bro. I think smacking is definitely when people smack, bro. When they
Yeah.
eat and stuff, right? That's definitely pet peeve. Definitely, that's definitely one.
Got you. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Third question, what's your guilty pleasure?
Oh, that's easy. Ice cream, bro. Haagen Dazs, chocolate chip.
Okay.
I still eat like I'm in college, and that it's catching up. It's definitely catching up. I gotta chill, but it's hard not to. You know how that goes, bro.
Yeah,
You know how
yeah,
it goes.
yeah. I'm a chocolate person. I'm
Yeah,
addicted.
right.
It's hard.
It's definitely hard. It's definitely hard, man.
Man. All right, Britt. Thank you. Those are all my questions I have for you.
Definitely.
Will you be back? We do another one.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. This was chill, man. I love what you're doing. Definitely
Appreciate
do.
it.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
definitely
Yeah. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing. I like your shows. I like your videos. It's real. I appreciate that, and I really hope it's helping the youth. The
do.
girls
Yeah,
in college. So
yeah,
yeah,
definitely. That's the goal to keep passing this down and help others, man.
yeah,
Keep helping others.
for
Yeah, for
sure.
sure.
All right, Britt. Well, I'll get you this content, and we'll be in touch.
All right, for sure. Hey, like, are we done recording?
Uh,